vacated the grid ring and didn't have any lead changes this weekend. But Alex Palou moves to second, and Max Verstappen is down to fifth after the sixth place finish on the streets of Monaco. We had 7 races this weekend across Formula One, Formula E, IndyCar, MotoGP, and NASCAR. So, Ben, I'm going to start with you on this one. Which races stood out the most on a busy Memorial Day weekend?
Well, it's frustrating that it got pushed to the afternoon, but I'm glad we got it in. It's obviously the Indianapolis 500. I think we saw great racing all throughout the field. A little bit of a rocky start with how many cautions we were seeing, how aggressive the drivers were, but credit to them. They got us home to the finish cleanly. No red flag controversy like we've had the last couple of years, and we got a great finish with Joseph Newgarden and Pato O'Ward as the two main protagonists in that battle for the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500. A great result, a great race. And again, I think, unfortunately, when you look at the other two main contenders, Monaco had a great story, but not such great racing. The Coke 600 maybe was the opposite, had some great racing, but not such a great story the way that it all played out. And unfortunate what happened with Kyle Larson not getting a chance to get in the car to even run a single lap in the second leg of the double attempt. So for me, it's the Indianapolis 500. Not to say that there weren't great storylines surrounding the rest of the weekend, but that's the one race that stood out to me the most.
Indianapolis 500, that stood out for the great racing, the stories, everything, as you pointed out, being just unfortunate, the late start. I would give second place, though, for me, the sprint race in MotoGP. That was a phenomenal sprint race. It really set up to what we thought would be a great Catalunya Grand Prix. That didn't exactly deliver, but that sprint race, that was a great start. I felt overall when it came to the racing, the stories, it varied where everyone had great storylines from championship battles in Formula E, Leclerc breaking the curse, NASCAR just unfortunate ended, and then Indianapolis 500 unfortunately start late, delayed, caution after caution, but that finish, everyone's going to be talking about the finish and this being one of the best Indy 500s. It finished pretty late for the Indy 500 standards, but overall it left the fans happy, and I think it really is going to stand out for a long time to come, at least the 2024 Indianapolis 500.
Yeah, I definitely think the Indy 500 stands at the very top of all the races we saw this weekend. It was just an incredible race, and like you mentioned, how it was really questionable at the start. With all the crashes that we were seeing, and since we had the curfew of 8:15. We're wondering, if we were going to have enough time to get the race in, all 500 miles, all 200 laps before we had to call it quits for the day. But we got the race in, saw a wonderful show, saw a lot of great racing all throughout the field, lots of bold moves, a lot of sketchy moves. Drivers just holding on for dear life. And I don't know if you guys saw this on the final lap, but when Joseph Newgarden swung around the outside around Pato O'Ward, Pato car washed up the hill, looked like he was going to crash when Newgarden went around him. I didn't really see a lot of people talking about that. It was just a really great race. Definitely one of my favorite Indy 500s. It seems like every single year now we're always saying that this Indy 500 is the best one I've ever seen. And I'm sure next year we'll be saying the same thing, that next year's Indy 500 be the best one we've ever seen. It just seems like it just keeps getting better and better.